Wicked, October 12th, we are live for Marketing Made Easy. Nice to see you here on another Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. And we are talking all about marketing today, more about pricing in the marketing, which I know is a big topic. At least it's been a big topic inside my Facebook group in the last little while. And so I figured, why not talk about this live and get some feedback from you? Maybe you're struggling with selling your products, don't know what to position them or the pricing. We'll talk all about it. Maybe get some feedback from you on some struggles and maybe challenges of pricing and why we think that pricing higher is better for you. As I bring in my good friend, as always, Scott Vogel in the place to be.
Thanks.
Orange t-shirt today. Look at you.
Yeah, was just that's what today was all about.
Nice, man. I love it. I love it.
I love the topic. I was on a call today with a friend, and we were going over his offering. And I said, "How much is this 8-week program?" And he was like, 500. I was like, "Okay, tell me what this thing is." And we went through the whole thing, and then I reverse engineered it from the bottom up of what's the end result that the person gets and what's the pain they're experiencing. And I said, "How much would you pay for something like that?" He goes, "A couple $1,000. I was like,
right. Isn't it funny how they, and then they don't want to charge it.
And I was like, "How much would fill in the blank coach that you paying a lot of money to would charge for that?" And it was like a few $1,000s. I was like, and then later on we were talking about another. I said, "Okay, what happens after the 8 weeks? What's next?" Then he was like, "Oh, maybe like a 5,000 thingy." I was like, "No." He goes, "Okay, what about 7 to 10?" I was like, "Well, forget about the 7 too. Why don't we just start at 10?" And then, so that's premium pricing is really, because you and I both know, no matter what group we go in, whether it's this one, that one, everybody asks that question. And I know that it was in the group today.
Yeah.
One of our members was asking about the pricing, and if somebody's not willing to give you $10, they're not going to give you 30 or 50 or 100.
Right. And it's tough to build the business on that. That's what I want to get to and do some math for some people. And that's kind of what opened my eyes to it. It's always there, but it was seeing it all the time and doing the math and building the dream business around your life and all these other little things that go into it. How much do you want to be, trying to bring in leads and fill the funnel? And we'll talk all about that, which we unfunnel it right in here, at least in my world, because we do different. And that's what it's all about. Like to say hi to somebody here. Comments. Hello, boys. This I think is Monica.
It's got to be Monica.
It's got to be Monica. And so, hello, Monica, wherever you're on one of the Facebook areas. So, thank you for being here, and everybody else who's watching. Thank you for being here. I don't see any comments from you, but thank you. I see you live. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. If you hear live, please put in #live. And if you're on the replay, #replay. So at least we know where everybody's coming from. And it lets Facebook know that we're doing an awesome job. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Wow, I can't believe we're broadcasting all over. I feel like a real broadcaster here.
Wow.
Our own TV
station. All the known channels in the universe.
It's amazing. So it is Monica. Nice to see you. Kali is here. Thank you for being here. You are all amazing. Thank you for being here. So if you have a question regarding pricing or anything else, it doesn't really matter. We don't have to stay on this topic, throughout the whole thing. Scott and I are pretty good at jumping in and out of conversations. But if you have any question, even if it's specifically about pricing, we'd love to talk to you, maybe about your pricing and encourage you to increase it if you're a little bit too low, which will probably, if you're under, what would you say, that's a good way to start. What would you say would be the lowest?
The lowest what?
The lowest price that you would start or suggest somebody to, even like it's a mini course or something like that. What's a low price that you would start at? You know how they got the whole product ladder thingy, which I don't agree with at the beginning of the process. For me, it's $600.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 to 7 for a mini course.
Right.
Again, it goes to what's the outcome? What would you be willing? The call I was on today was 8 weeks, and what happened in the 8 weeks and this and that and that and that. And I was like, my God, $500 for 8 weeks. I said,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
$30 a week. That's like, I'm sorry, that's not even worth waking up. And I don't mean that from, no, it is not worth waking up to do 8 weeks at that. And yeah, if you want to do a beta launch price for a set group of people in your first one, put the value though at it so that they know what they're getting. And
Yeah.
it's not false. It's not like this program normally is an $80,000 program, but because Stripe won't process
Yeah.
$80,000, I'm going to give it to you for $1,000.
Oh my God. I haven't heard that one in a little while, but yeah, you just brought that memory back because Stripe
Yeah.
won't do this for me. My account is like, oh, give me a break. Yeah, no, you brought up a good point about the beta prices because that's all we do is the beta thingy and teach that. But and I started with the old, I'll just charge $7 for this beta and go from the dude. Like, actually, let me, you're gonna freak when I tell you this. I don't think I've told you this before, but when I first started this, just so everybody's listening to know like why I'm where I am in terms of the pricing and all that, is I did a live workshop, whatever you want to call it. Guess how much it was? I'm gonna let you guess.
You delivered a live workshop.
Yeah, it was live. I went to do a live workshop with people and like real people, actually humans.
Real human beings, huh? Okay.
Real humans.
Not
Guess
the
how much?
fake ones. $500.
I'll give you one more guess. It's lower than that.
250.
Totally wrong.
$99.
Okay, hold on to your seat. I'm scared to say this. $17.
$70 for a live.
Yes.
You
Full
showed
day.
full day.
1-7. If $17, dude.
Wait, hold on.
That's how scared I was.
But there's a question.
Okay.
Was there a back end to that 17?
No.
I would have been okay with 17 if at the end of the program you sold a $5,000 thingy.
There was no sales. I even gave them the recordings, everything. How long ago?
Not
7 years.
7 years. How much money did you lose?
Oh God.
And what did it cost? How did it cost you more for the room?
Yeah, it cost me more for the room.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying is like, I know if you're listening to this and you're afraid to raise your price or for whatever reason is whatever your little doubting Dan is, that's my little dude on the sits on the shoulder here and gives me the guff. And that little doubting Dan said, dude, like just do it for $17 because you'll get some people in there at least. And you won't be the sales dude or whatever I was telling myself.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. And I don't think I've ever told you that story, did I?
No, you've never told me. I think you would have been too ashamed to tell me that story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You said something interesting in there, Joey, that I think we should unpack.
Sure.
That your voice, your other self, was saying, I don't want to be the sales guy. I don't want to come off as being a sales guy. What will people think of me if I try and sell them something?
Yeah.
What will people think of you if you don't help them with the solution to their problem? And they know, there's a situation I'm engaged in playing with, and somebody called me on it and said, if the business that we're talking about continues on its current trajectory, where will it be in 18 months? Will it be here? And I said, no. And they're like, well, can you change that? And I was like, yes.
Right.
If a client knew that you could help them solve the problem I was on a call today, and it was interesting because it was, somebody said to him, how much money can you come up with? Like by the end of the day? He said, probably a couple $100,000. He said, what if the life of one of your family members was on the line? How much money could you find today? He said, probably $2 million. If we look at what's at the end of the game and what's at stake.
Well, that's what we talk about in the Dream Client Canvas. Remember, we
Yeah,
talked about the crisis. What's the crisis?
right.
And what's the oasis? So where are you going and what's the big thing that's going on in their lives? And this is why all the stuff that we talk about week in, week out, dream clients and all these other things, they're not just words. They're not just fancy topics. It's all related to what we are talking about here, which is building an awesome business and having the revenue to continue the business to serve the people that you want to serve and all the things, all the cliches. But it happens to be, well, if you're just trying to sell a product, then that's what I was trying to do back then because I wasn't ideal clients and dream clients and stuff. It was like, okay, I just want to sell a workshop and I don't know if it's good enough and like all these things. And that's what held me back. It was, and I don't even know. And I'd have to try to really unpack like why was I so scared to do that? But now it's you're exactly right. It's who's the dream client, who's the person that I can serve, and they're in a crisis that I know I can help them, and I need to help these people only. So they're going to pay a premium price to get out of that crisis, which you just alluded to.
Yeah.
Your family's on the line. Now all of a sudden you can get 2 million?
Oh,
Where'd
yeah.
that come from?
Well, it's like Atlas, Joey. When you really look at it from 20,000 feet, it's not a course, it's not a program. It truly is about life transformation. It truly is about creating the dream life, the dream business. One of the somebody walked out of class or came into class earlier today, and I wasn't taking class obviously because I'm here. And she was like, it's great to see you and your husband and that. And she's like, gosh, I wish I could come more. I said, you can come more. She says, no, I can't. I said, no, you can come more. You just have other responsibilities and commitments that you've made, like a job and work.
Right.
Well, what would it look like to not and to be able to do that? What does that maybe look like? And that's where the awareness starts for somebody that says maybe there is a better way than working for somebody else for this and going, I have to go to work. I don't know many people that wake up and say, God, I love going to a job and to work and working for somebody who tells me what to do every day. And I'm accountable and responsible. And I get 2 weeks off a year, maybe. And maybe I get a health day or a sick day.
Mhm.
And all that comes with it. And then all of a sudden it's like, you mean there's another way? And then therein comes all the crap out there. And then there's us where it's like, you mean I actually can do what I love? I can help people with my superpowers and my gifts. I can create a life that I love, a dream life, and work with dream clients and be on a dream island with them. That's real. Yeah, it's real. What's that worth to somebody who's spent years maybe putting away a little money to get to the end with the gold watch and the pension and maybe Social Security by the time they get there?
Right.
And then they look at it and go, it's just a whole new way for people. The people that come to you and from different places, a lot of them, unfortunately, have experienced something not like anything that Atlas is. They've been taken advantage of, and I know how that pisses you off
Yeah.
because yeah, I spent $10,000 on this mastermind and basically got nothing, or I spent this, and excuse me, you and I have seen it time and time again. Where,
Well, it's loaded into my chat. Like there's there's a book in there, a whole so I could load a whole 250, 500-page book of just the people that have been unfortunately taken advantage of. And you're right, it pisses me off. And
yeah,
that's the part where getting to where I do what I do is the hardest thing to get that trust and bond. But that's a whole other story. The thing is that you're right, you're absolutely right that you know what we're trying to do is meet that person at that crisis point to give them the hope and the support and guidance that they've always needed and wanted that they never got anywhere else. And that's where we come in. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. And I want to talk a little bit about math here just to show everyone watching this, like how I don't want to say the word easy, but how more simplified, at least I look at how my life has gotten to get to, we'll just use like the 6-figure model because it's easy to do the math, I guess. And and by the way, if you're listening to this and I'd love to hear your objections or your fear or anything around um, pricing high or whatever that is. We're here to help you. We're not here to bash you or anything like that. We want to help you get through this, but I want you to see it from a different perspective, or at least what I'm looking at here. And let's take a $100 product. To make $100,000, you need 1,000 sales, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so help me with my math because my math sucks.
Right.
So 1,000 people you need to buy your $100 product. Now I'm not going to even talk about funnels and how many people you need to get a 2% conversion to get to 1,000, but let's just say it's 1,000 people per year.
Right.
And I got my little calculator here, so I'm going to do $1,000 divided by 12, which is 84 people, like round it up, per month that we need.
Right. 84 sales a month at $100 is
Right.
Right.
Which translates to 84 divided by 4 is 21 people per week. Okay. So now let's raise it. Let's do the other way. Let's say it's $1,000 for the product, right? So how many people do we need now?
100.
100 people. So now we need 100 people, and now we need what? 8 people.
2 a week.
8 people per month.
Right.
Right, per month, because we're rounding up. We need 2 people per week.
Right.
Okay.
Instead of 21.
Instead of 21. And I just spoke to you before that we did the math on the stuff that I do with Atlas and how this all worked out. And so if I did this, which I don't do every single week, but if I really did just only this every single week, the whole translation was I had 8 people kind of opt in, whatever you want to call it, 8 people on the week, spoke to 2, which was not really 2, but it was, I'm going to call it 2, and 1 person enrolled. And that was for a good price, right? And that's not working 24/7. It's not social media every single day. It's a very simple thing that could happen, that I could hit this number if I just did that.
Right.
You agree?
I totally agree.
If I just did those things, and basically the entire process, and I'm rounding up, took about, man, I hate to say the word like 10 hours, because that's a lot already. Like a lot. But I'm going to say 10 hours. Just to say, who'd be happy here? I'd love to know from watching, who would be happy to work just 10 hours and doing something that you love to talk about and all that, and not hard sales. We're not talking about intake calls. We're not talking about trying to sell people, just simple stuff that translates into $100,000 business. 10 hours. What is that, Scott? 10
hours a month.
So 10 hours a week. So 40 hours a week. A month. 40 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week, which is a regular job, right?
Yeah.
So 40 hours times 12 is 480 hours
a year. Which is basically, if you say an 8-hour workday, okay, and it's how many hours? 480?
480 for the year. That's what is that? So you're right. So it's a one.
That's working 60 days a year. At 8 hours a day is 480. That's 60 days a year. That means there's 305 days a year left that you get to do what you want.
Yeah. And then the delivery of the program, whatever, if you're doing the stuff that I do, is awesome because you can do it within an hour, maybe 2, whatever, add on. And so let's say it's 10 hours a week and all you did was this.
So this
is just one way.
Work 100 days a year or 120 days a year, which still leaves you 240 days to live life.
But even just taking that off the table, because I wanted to show the math for people,
Right.
because I really didn't do the math myself to think, wait a second, what are the conversion rates? What are what's really happening here? But it's just the pricing alone. And that's just $1,000 product, because you and I both know the average price really is $2,000,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's have they're basically entry point high ticket item, and that's not even high ticket, but let's call it
Uh,
a
let's
entry
call it.
point high ticket is $2,000.
Yeah.
Everybody's used to $2,000, especially a dream client.
Yeah.
Now we're only talking about 50 people a year.
I mean, I've told you, I bought Total Product Blueprint from Brendan Burchard for 2 grand years ago. You and I have bought courses for 2, 3, 5 grand
Easy.
because we know what the payback's going to be, what the ROI is. And they're out there. The conversation I had today was the dream client thinks differently than the marketer who was
Yeah.
like, gosh, $17. $17 for an all day. How could I possibly like ask people to pay me more than that? Who would, who in their right mind would even come and listen to me for $17?
I even give a money back guarantee. Ah, oh my god. Oh my god.
Did anybody take you up on it?
No.
Okay, good.
Could you imagine? Can I get my $17 back?
I was
Holy
here all day. I didn't like it. Give me back my $17.
Holy crap. Oh my god.
How do you
Dude.
want it? In dollar bills? Here, I'll count them off.
So,
That's
do you have any
crazy.
questions about the pricing, about your pricing, maybe some feedback or fears around pricing? We'd love to help you. How did what does your pricing look like? Do you have high ticket offers, if you want to call them that?
I have high
Premium.
ticket offers. If somebody wants me to engage in a project with them, it's going to be 50 grand for me to do what I do, to build a brand from the ground up. Hi, Angel. If I'm going to write copy, it's going to be at least 3,500 to 5 grand just to write some copy.
Well, who are you to tell me that it's $3,500? Why should I pay you $3,500 to write copy? I can
Go
get
let,
Joe Blow down the street to do it.
go let Joe Blow write it down the street and see what your results are. You want to see my results? You want to see the copy I've written? I'm going to embrace your business and know it better than you before I write copy. Go hire a guy on Fiverr who will put the AI robot to work and come up with some crap that will do nothing for you. You want somebody that's going to research your audience and research you and find out everything and spend a few weeks figuring it out after writing thousands of pieces of copy and reading all the books, and more importantly, successful launches of products and successful VSLs and successful copy. That always works.
So it sounds to me like you're pretty confident on what you can deliver.
I am damn confident what I can deliver. And if it doesn't work, I'll give you your money back. How's that?
Do you think that there's any, part of someone who doesn't believe in themselves or their product, that they don't want to charge higher prices?
Yes, definitely. Most people, not most people, when it comes to valuing themselves and their product, there's no course that says, my God, you are worth millions. I remember Jason Moffat on his Equity 5000 call. He says, you all are worth $1 million. You've all got $1 million businesses because of what you know. And it,
Okay, I'm going to stop you there for a second, because I want to go back to my stupid $17 thingy and tell you exactly what it was, because you just hit the nail on the head of this. This is like meta, 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 meta. One of the reasons why I charged $17 was because there was no agenda. It was called the Whiteboard Project. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, I know I'm going to get slapped in across the head for this from you, but what I did was I said, look, guys, I'm going to open up, they're right behind me, I don't know if you can see them, my personal journals that I've gone to pay thousands of dollars to sit beside gurus and everything else. And I don't know what I'm going to teach you, but I'm going to teach you stuff from these books that I've never shared with anybody. And I'm just going to whiteboard the stuff and we'll just have a conversation. That is what the workshop was for $17.
I remember my first product, Joey, and it was after I had been speaking a while. People would come up and say, "You got any tapes?"
Yeah.
It's like, no. Well, after like 5 different times of people asking if I had any tapes, I went into the studio and I recorded a 6-pack of cassettes.
Yep.
And I sold it for $100. And okay, and then my next thing was a full-blown business builder toolkit that I sold for $500. And I'd go in front of a room and I'd have a couple hundred people in the audience. And at the end of the day, I'd make my offer, hand out they already have the order sheet. I'd walk them through it and put in your credit card information. That was before we made it even easier to just push a button on your phone, fill out the information and drop it off on the way up. 30, 40, 50 people buy a $300 to $500 product at the end of a program. And of course, I charged a lot of money to speak as well. And it was like, that's just how I grew up to value the worth that I had and what I was going to deliver. And there's something with money, with everybody.
There's always somebody who's going to pay the price. And it's not about gouging people. It's about like, who's the right person that I could help. I think that's a huge part of it, is understanding that first. And then believing in yourself, which I just proved to you I didn't really, because I gave away stuff that I don't even give away now, and it's like, holy crap, I opened up my entire journals and wrote this stuff on the board and everything else. I don't regret it, but it was like, okay, well, this is nuts. People would pay $10,000 for that. More.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a full day of me, like, here's stuff that you'll never hear. Stuff like chains of beliefs and things a decade ago or whatever it was, 7 years ago. Stuff that now is, oh, that's kind of cool, right? But that's not the point. It's like, I want to hear from people, hopefully, to hear what they're struggling with their pricing and why they aren't, moving it up. That would be awesome if we can help people with that or help you. My low ticket is membership, $27 a month. My mid is 90. What is that? My mid offer is 10,000 for my ideal client, and my high ticket offer is $68,000 for my dream client. That's awesome. So why is it such a big range?
Yeah.
That's a huge range from like 27
to 10 grand is almost 70 grand.
Yeah, that one is like, still there's a range there, but why would you do a $27 membership if you get a $68,000 client? You need like one of them, like 2 of them a year if you're
right.
So that's what I want to challenge you on, Angel. And are you getting those $68,000 and $10,000? Which one is easier for you? Because 10,000, and it's true, like, it's easier to sell a higher price, right?
Oh yeah.
So why is it high? Why is it easier? Let's let everybody know why it's easier.
2 words. Dream client. The dream client, to get the result, has the money to pay for it and is willing to pay for it to get the result because they understand the value of the result. And 10 grand to somebody with that kind of money, it's like, to the average person that thinks about, do I want to buy this thing for $50? The person that's got a lot of money doesn't think much about, they think much about 10, but it's a different process. Well, 10 grand is about $800 a month over the next 12 months, $9,600. Can I handle $800 a month? How much money do I got on this and that credit card? The person that's got a couple hundred grand in the bank and it's got investments and this and that, who wants to go to the next level, is going, yeah, 10 grand. Okay, I got it. Let's do it. Rather than, if you're trying to get the funnel and get the traffic and get it to the offer and get the percentages in so that they end up with the $7 and put them through the thingy and then the $39 and then to the core and the thing and the whole funnel thingy, rather than going, what if I found 50 people
Yeah.
and half of them would give me 5 or 10 grand? Then 10 people give me 5 or 10 grand, then there's my 50, 100 grand.
Right. The reason I'm asking you, Angel, is like the pricing that you have, like a $27. I get it, you're serving all kinds of people. Where's all your energy go? Like is your membership, like where do you put your energy to get your clients? Is the membership like already set up and on kind of autopilot? And what do you do for that membership? Like it's a big range to do a $27 membership if you've got $10,000 offers that are working and $68,000 offers. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I would do a $27 a month thing, because it's just a lot of work. Like it's like what is that? 68,000 divided by 27 is 2,518 people. So 2,500 people to your $168,000 dream client. So is that worth it to you? What do you think, Scott? I don't know.
Well, Angel is saying that there's so many questions of what you just asked me. My membership has so many.
That's why I'm only focusing on the membership right now.
What do I think? I think that I was at a conversation with somebody today about when they wanted to start a Facebook group as part of their members, as part of their coaching program. And I was like, how much time do you want to invest in that? Joey, you're in that group like all the time, day in and day out and day and night, and you're posting and you're answering, you're responding, and that's your model. And that works. Does somebody want to invest all that for $27? Now, if you've got 10,000 people in your membership and it's easy to deliver and you got 27, that's a whole nother story. To build something for 27 a month, my lowest, I've got a $99 membership that I offer in pre-launch for $49, but guess what? I don't have to deliver much.
Yeah, she's saying it's all working for her. That's amazing. If the system is all working for you in place, then you've hit the holy grail of everything. So that's amazing.
If that's all working and there's 27 and a bunch of people, and then there's 10 and $70,000, then I'll shut up.
Yeah, exactly. I got nothing to say. 2,500 people a monthly to make the 20. It doesn't mean you have to have 2,500 people, but that's a lot of work to get 2,500 people and keep the membership going, whatever it is. And then that, like dream clients, the energy for me is to put on the dream client and do the pre-fluence and all the other stuff out in the world for free, so that it ends up being the dream client that makes it easy for me to get the dream client. That's how I look at it. So there's no funnels, there's no low dollar thingy to come into. It's like the dream client and the higher prices allow me to go into the world and do what I'm able to do for people who can't yet afford to be that dream client.
Joey, when I first started speaking and doing training, consulting, and workshops,
she says I'm not understanding. Wait 1 second. Not 2,500. I'm saying it's 20. I was just comparing, Angel. I know that there's 3 different offers. I was just comparing your $27 to the $70,000. I'm just rounding up to the $70,000 client. So it would take you 2,500 people or so, just using round numbers, to match that. That's all I'm saying. I know do you get what I'm saying now? Your low ticket is $27 for you to make 70,000. It's basically 2,500 people to make 70,000. Am I saying it right, Scott, or am I screwing this up?
Oh, you're saying it right. Yeah, all you were saying was in order to make the almost 70 grand, you'd have to have that many members at 27 a month, rather than just getting a couple of the dream clients at the 67,997.
Yeah, and that the whole thing is, so if you put your energy, and I don't know if that's why I asked you, Angel, is the membership like automatic, and like how much energy are you putting into that, all kind of stuff. And if you're putting energy, then is it worth it? And so that means that if there's too much energy there, is it worth it to do that, or is it worth putting energy into just going to get another $70,000 client, and you get two of those a year, and then you're done, right? That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Joey, way back when, we're going back probably 25 years ago, 30 years ago, geez, I'm getting old. 30 years ago, when I was playing around with the Disneys and the Marriotts and the Hyatt and Pepsi and that, and it was like, yeah, my minimum to do a consult to create a program for them was 30 grand. And then it was 3 grand a day to go deliver it plus my expenses. And it was, I didn't know the terms back then. I did not consciously, but those were dream clients that came to me because they saw me speak and they wanted to hire me in their organization. And they didn't care what it was, because at the end of the day, if you can increase the bottom line by 1.25% of a region in a Fortune 100 company, and they say, well, 1.25%, that's not a lot, Scott. Well, on $2.6 billion, it certainly is. And that's where the whole dream client comes in. And I'm not saying we all have to go out and find Fortune 100 company dream clients. In every market, there is a dream client. Just look at the car world.
And it comes down to where you're putting your energy. That's all. I mean, for Angel, congratulations, man. If you got all that working, and you're not working 24 hours a day, wow, like you've got a model that you could sell now and become a billionaire, because everybody wants that. It's amazing. For me, it doesn't work that way. For me, it's more of, again, where am I putting the energy, and deciding on what's the dream day look like first, and how much do I really want to be sitting in this chair doing what I love to do, but how much do I want to do that? And in order for me to make what I'm comfortable making, let's even just call it a $250,000 business. It doesn't have to be $1 million business, because you and I both know that $1 million business, there's a lot of moving components. And I know a lot of people that are millionaire businesses that are extremely frustrated and they don't have a life at all. And a $250,000 person is way happier.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a big, huge thingy, but whatever it is for you, and then do the math. Like, how much do I, because we aren't even talking yet, Scott, about the conversion rates. We aren't even talking about, how many people do you need to speak to in order to get this thing, to get that thing? It's like, that's a lot of stuff.
It goes to the whole unfunnel. To do a funnel, you've got to drive 10,000 people from ads that cost you a fortune into the funnel, and hopefully into the opt-in page to get your thingy, and hopefully get the email response to the thingy, and then potentially watch the sales letter or the VSL, and then click and maybe purchase and do the upsell and the thing and the fries with it and all of that. And at the end of the day, and then yeah, and then the cleanup email sequence for those that didn't buy, but that this and that, and the pixel retargeting, and holy crap.
That's why I mentioned the numbers at the beginning of this call, because it was, well, seriously, if all I'm doing is going in and working and getting in and helping and doing the thing, which is what Angel's all about too, is like, I want to serve all these people. That's awesome. I'm serving. And then people reach out to me. And in this case, I showed you, it was like 8 people reached out. They weren't all hardcore sales thingies. And here it is. 6 of those people, there was no conversation whatsoever. It was just like, here's the thing I promised I'd give you. Here it is. Thank you very much. See you later. That was it. Only 2 of those turned into a conversation. And like I said, one of them was barely a conversation.
Right.
And this is all in bound stuff. This is not me reaching out and doing the DM and the want fries with that and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't any of that.
And one of the things, Joey, is looking at the offers and people scared to death to go from $10 to 100 or price their membership at 97 because who would pay for that? And then what about those that say, okay, I'm going to charge $1,000 for my course? Well, why not charge 2,500 or $5,000? You're familiar with this conversation. Why not? If you're going to charge 2,500, what's the difference between 2,500 and $5,000 at the end of the day? If you're going to charge 7,500 or 8, why not just charge 10? What's the difference at the end of the day in those numbers? It's kind of like you go buy a Beamer or a Mercedes or a Ferrari. It's like, well, do I want the $80,000 model or the $68,000 model? It's a $12,000 difference. What the hell?
Well, but what is the difference? If you're talking about, BMW and a Rolls Royce, which is the same frickin' car.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Status, prestige.
Perceived value.
I'm going to drive a Rolls Royce. Oh my God, you drive a Rolls Royce? Pass the Grey Poupon, please. And I challenge everybody to look at whatever they think their high dollar offer is and make it higher.
I don't know what this means. I don't know what you're referencing, Angel. I apologize. Exactly why I only charge $27 a month for my membership. I don't know which one you're relating to.
Lee Stem commented earlier, and it got kind of sandwiched in and said, "True.
Oh.
My new okay, you got it. My new member wanted to join a different membership and said that she would pay whatever to join."
Nice.
Why did that person say to you, Lee, that they would pay whatever to join? It probably wasn't because your website, probably wasn't because your pretty PDFs or your excellent videos. Why would they pay anything to join? It goes to the cheese of Dean Jackson. What's the cheese? What will you chew through a 3-foot wall to get to? It goes back to if my son was sick and I needed money to help him, what would I go through? What lengths? How much could I find? I'd find anything that I could and some. And
yep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. She says that what you were talking just about in reference to the $27, I'm lost, to be honest with you, bro, with that. And this is why it's kind of, it sucks when we can't really speak to somebody live. But I'm lost. And then I don't know what, like, if you started charging people $9.97, I'd start selling wildly tomorrow. Why didn't you do that? I'm keeping it accessible for as long as I can.
Why?
Yeah, just give to those people. Like, the $27 is not worth your time. Give to those people who can turn into $10,000 clients later, and now you don't even have to go and find those $10,000 clients. Because if it's easy for you to sell $10,000, to make $100,000, you probably want to make more than that. I don't know, but we're just using $100,000 right now. That's only 10 people a year, and now you're gifting everything, removing the time that you have to build the membership, take the $27 charge, give merchant fees, and all the other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally off the wall here, but it's a lot of time. I'm just challenging you politely, Angel. Because if this is true, man, I wish I had your problem. Amazing.
That's Ryan Mathis. Great way to think.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't see you. If you could give, I don't know where you're watching from, but if you can give StreamYard, like, click on the link if you can. If there is a link, then we could see your name and give you some prompts.
He's watching it in Heart Centered Marketing Club, that Facebook piece.
Yeah, then you should be able to click on the link and then it'll show your name. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where we were. We were talking about the difference between BMW and Bentley, and not Bentley,
Well, and
Rolls
what,
Royce, which is the perceived value. It's the same car,
right.
right?
Again, Joey, like anytime I'm on with anybody, you've seen me do it. It'd be like, well, we're going to charge 8 grand. I said, why not just charge 10 grand? What's the difference between 8 and 10? Is 2. And for the person, and then it becomes 10. Then for the person,
Yeah, you know what? But at the same time, so I know you've done that, but for people listening, I know what the objections are. Because and when somebody does that, and even when it was done to me from other coaches, yourself, and everything else, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, all you're doing is just tell me to raise the price. But when somebody doesn't believe in themselves or their product or something like that, and you have to add value to the offer as well. There has to be something in there that has to be added.
well, no doubt about it. Like I said, it wouldn't say this thing is worth $80,000 when it's not. And it goes to the value, self-worth, self-value.
Right. So if you're talking to somebody about that and they're saying $7,500, I get it. What's the difference between 75 and 10? Right. But then if you say, okay, you agree with 10, the guy like, yes, well, why not 15? That to me needs a value add. There's got to be something different. You can't just say, well, just charge 15 because if they're going to pay 10, they're going to pay 15, which
Right.
is true. However, for the context of this, and you don't have to agree with me, but I want for everybody listening, because I know that's what's in their head. Like you can't just pull an Umbo price out of there and go, well, this is what it is. So this because what
There
it,
has to be a justification and a rationalization. You can't just, but then again, look at some of the big names that say, yeah, it's 100 grand for me to hang out for you for the day.
but they've got credibility.
Exactly.
That's the value. It's the
Right.
same. That's why I brought up the BMW
Yep.
and the Rolls Royce, because like you said, well, I'm driving a Rolls Royce. And even if the person says it's the same chassis, it's the same motor, I don't care. It's a Rolls Royce. It's hand stitched. It's whatever the hell the Rolls Royces have, right? And that's what they're buying. They're buying that status symbol and all this other stuff. That's the perceived value of why they're paying for that car. It's not to get from A to B.
Well, it's interesting when we talk about Rolls Royce. I couldn't tell you who it was from. It was from a program I listened to many years ago. And you and I have listened to hundreds and thousands of them. And somebody was basically saying, guy lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Very successful, multimillionaire. He lost everything. And he said all he needed to do was he was able to finagle a lease on a Rolls Royce. And he showed up to the next meeting and drive a Rolls Royce and got out of the Rolls Royce, and the perception of him, and he was able to get right back into business because of the Rolls Royce, because of the perception that comes along with it, which leads to what is the perception of your program and the value that it provides. And
Okay, so that's a really good point. I want to talk about that in a second. It also goes to positioning your own in your mind and how you position yourself in the client's mind. This
that's
is great. I
Monica.
don't know who said this. Is this Monica?
Monica, yeah.
Yeah. So this is great because of what Scott just said and what you just said, Monica, which is completely true. Here's an example of this, a very simple example. So I think I was talking to somebody about this, and they were saying how you set up a webinar funnel or something like that, a 5-day webinar thingy, whatever, and all the intricate parts of it and how blah, blah, blah. So I said to them, why don't you just reposition this as a mini course and put it into Kajabi as a course? And they got one login now and not all these webinar registration thingies that have to be connected to each other. Da, 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 da. And now the perceived value goes up because now it's a course and now they're logged into a membership area, and boom, immediately the perceived value goes up. That's what we're talking about. It's taking the
Right.
exact same thing and saying, how do I reposition this? In this case, it wasn't about price, right? It was about the whatever is going on, but it's still, we increased the perceived value of that. Do you agree, Scott?
I totally agree. It's all about perceived value. It's what will somebody, and again, not what is somebody willing to pay for it and just say, well, I'll just charge them 25 grand for the hell of it. When really, if you look at what's out there, if I said to somebody, I'll spend a day, well, forget about that. That's not a good analogy. But for somebody that's used to charging a couple of $100, for them to go and say, okay, I'm going to charge 10 grand, that's a big leap.
Yeah.
because there has to be that leap in, as Monica pointed out, positioning in your own mind. What is your worth? What is your value? And again, we look at when I first started doing this stuff called marketing
Yeah.
and selling, I couldn't go out and charge those kind of numbers. But after you get a few successes and pieces, and when someone says, well, let me see your copy, and I can give them 20 pieces of copy and VSLs and web pages and everything of all different things that worked. But in the beginning, if you've just written your first piece of copy, you're not going to go out and say, well, they'll pay me $500 to $700 an hour. You're going to start on Fiverr, maybe, hopefully one day get good.
This is a great question from Ryan. If you're creating your first offer, do you still think charging premium prices for a product is better than having a cheaper price point to build trust? And you know my answer. I want to know what yours is.
My answer is yes.
Right. So is mine.
Premium prices for a product. And of course, on the first one, there's a beta opportunity for the first one. There's a gift that you can give based on, Joey, you teach this incredibly, wonderfully well, is there's a gift piece that relates to something, whatever it is. But if you started out with, to build trust, if you know what you're doing and you can produce results. If I walked up to somebody and I was out at a restaurant, I heard somebody at a table next to me saying, my business is about to go under. I got this and that and that and that, and the situation, and you and I are sitting there having dinner next to them, and we look at each other and go, if this guy did these three things, or this gal did these three things, we know they could turn this thing around in a couple of weeks.
Right.
If we didn't go tell them, hey, we could save your business and it will be this simple. And they'd be like, well, yeah, that's what I need. That's what I want, because that's the pain that they're experiencing. They're about to lose everything. And
yeah,
so, well, I could do it for $100. Be like, come on.
Scott, like, you hit so many great points there, and Brian and everybody listening. By the way, if you're listening on the live, please put in #live or #replay if you're on the replay. And if you like what we're doing, please give us a thumbs up or something like that. Let us know. We would love that. Here's the deal. This has a lot to do with, there's a whole bunch of areas here. My mind's going to go all over the place, so forgive me as I'm ADD, but I think I want to try and get as many things out as possible. One is the belief, and the belief is first has to start with you. And what you said about, Scott, that you know that deep in your soul that you could help somebody, that you're so great at doing whatever it is. It's not ego. It's not anything. It's your experience. You know that if they followed this thing, that they would get that done. Correct? Like, that's a major component of charging $1 million an hour, right? That's the major thing.
Yeah.
Follow me, do what I'm telling you, you'll get this. Okay. Now, for people who are doing the first offer like this, and for any offer, and you know, I teach this in Atlas as well, and everybody is like, why would you give a guarantee? That's part of the process. So if Ryan goes out and says, look, I can help you do X, it's going to cost you $1,000, and I've got no credibility, whatever it is that you want to talk about, or they challenge you on this, then you stand behind your stuff 110%. Right. That's the whole point of all of this. I know Scott and I both do that, and we believe in ourselves so much, and we're going after the right dream client, first of all. And yes, sometimes there's a mistake where we bring in maybe the wrong person, it doesn't work, whatever. But most of the time it does, because we're focusing on the dream client first. We believe that we know what we're doing so well that we're putting our money where our mouth is. And that is another challenge that I see in the marketplace, because people don't do that. They're like, why would I do that? Why would I give people their money back? They bought my stuff. Or what if they take advantage of me? Or what if they don't like it? Well, if they don't like it, then you haven't got the right dream client in. You haven't communicated to the right person, or maybe your stuff isn't as good as you think it is, or whatever it is, right, Scott? Like, let's be honest.
What you hit a lot of points there too. Whatever it is, and you know my guarantees on my things. If for any reason you're not happy, let me know. I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. We'll part friends, and you go your way, I'll go my way. And I remember I once wrote some copy for someone. It was like, I'm going to give you a 20-minute call for $20. That was what it was, to move them into a 6-week program and then a 6-month program. And it was like, basically it was, here's the deal. We're going to get on a call. And at the end of the call, if you felt that It was a total waste of your time, no harm, no foul. I'll give you your money back too. Second thing is you'll find
Yes.
out, my God, you know what? That was the greatest thing. I'm good to go. That was the best 20 bucks I ever spent. I'll cheer you on from the sidelines. And the other one is, holy crap, I need to do this and move into the 6-week program and move into the next program.
You know, one of the best people that talks about mafia offers, irresistible, who does it, I've never seen a lot of people do this, but it's Frank Kern.
Yeah.
And not only does he do that well, but this is how much the dude believes in what he does. And he will have offers where, you know, you get on a discovery call with him or whatever. And if you feel as though he's wasted your time, he will pay you
Yeah.
$150, $500.
Yeah.
Think about that offer, guys, who's listening to this. Think about that offer. What does he have to lose? Even if somebody said, I'm going to make an easy $500 here, I'm going to rip this guy off. The people that come into that thing that he gets clients about, I'm not saying this is the best thing in the world to do, but I'm just pointing out the point of how much you need to believe in yourself. You don't have to do that kind of an offer, but I'm just pointing it out. How much do you believe in yourself so that you could raise the price to say, you pay this, you will get this result. And if you don't get that result, then I will XYZ.
I remember one of the offers that Perry Belcher talked about, and it was, first one was, if for any reason you're not happy, I'll give you your money back. I am so confident of how my stuff works that if you go through the program and you put it to practice and it doesn't work, not only will I refund your money, but I'll donate $1,000 to charity in your name. And then the third one is crazier. He's like, go through the program, do that. And if you don't like it, I'll give you double your money back.
Yeah, the double your money back is the one that is awesome.
Right.
That to me is the ultimate one. Brendan Burchard uses that. I remember that it was at High Performance Academy,
Yeah.
or something like that. Whatever it was, we'll pay for your hotel, your trip back, or whatever it was. It was like an amazing offer. How can you go wrong?
Yeah.
And I think maybe one person took him up on that at the time, whatever it was. But this is the point. It's not how to structure the offer. It's more we're trying to get to how much do you believe and know your craft so well that you are now saying, if I get the right dream client, because that's the other component here. It's not just about opening up an offer to say, here we go, Facebook ad to a cold audience and bring them in. Of course, you're going to get screwed. You need to get the right people into your world first to say, these are the people that I can help. If you give me this, right? If you give me, the whole, I think Dean Jackson was the one who even said, what would you rather have? There's 1,000 people in the audience. What would you rather have? Would you rather have like me give you the email addresses of everybody in here? Or would you like me to bring up the 10 people right now? I think it was a real estate event that are looking for a house right now. Which one do you want?
Right.
Which one?
Obviously, the 10 people that want a house.
Why?
I don't care about the other 90 because they don't want a house. I know
But you see, because people are the perception of, oh, that's 1,000 people email list.
Yeah,
oh my God.
all those emails. I'm great. No.
Get the right people who are looking for what you have to offer right now, and that you can guarantee that offer and stand behind it. So that goes back to, hopefully, Ryan, you're getting a big answer out of this one, but that's what this is about.
And Joey Angel, and I love that she always said this, and I quote her often on it. She says, your job is to help your audience know, like, and trust you, but more importantly, to trust your process. And that's what this is about, is the process. And if someone looks at that and says, holy cow, you're going to give me a process that's going to help me accomplish what I've been struggling to do, what's the value of that? And interesting, Joey, a lot of the people in here are in Atlas.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier today, when I challenged a colleague and in the development of the program that they're going to launch, and I said, how much did you pay for a program you're currently in, and what do you think they would charge? So maybe I would ask a question and say, how much do you think Joey would charge for your program? Or how much would you pay to get all of this knowledge? And take yourself out of the equation, because then you won't have to worry about, well, should I only charge 100 or 200 or 500? And when you look at it and say, well, I'm going to deliver 4 weeks of training and 4 live calls and 1 Q&A, and I'll be available via this and that, and I'm going to have this many hours in it, and here's my time by this, what's it actually worth then? And what would I be willing to pay for it?
And to that point too, this is where people get caught up as well. Is what's the value of what you're offering? And they'll go into the features, which is what you just said.
Right.
Days, it's 8 thins, it's that
Yep.
for that.
Yep.
I don't care. A dream client, if you're charging $20,000 and you've got, well, it's 6 months of this and it's that or that, if you could give it to them in an hour, they'll still pay $20,000. Correct?
Yeah.
They'll gladly pay you even more. If you
Well,
can show a 6-month thing with all the classes and all the thingies, and you say, look, you give me 25 grand and I'll fix your problem in an hour. Guaranteed.
well, the same thing
Right.
that
It's not about this. It's not about the delivery. It's not about the thing, man.
the guy walks into the shampoo company and says, I can double your sales with one idea. Would you pay me $1 million? And they're like, yeah, I'll pay you $1 million on my sales. That's great. The shampoo bottles used to say shampoo and rinse. The dude said, add one word, repeat.
Repeat. Right. Yeah, I know.
Another dude walks into a toothpaste company and says, I can double your sales. The old toothpaste, if you remember, the nozzle was about that big in the thin stream. He said, double the size of the nozzle. Somebody says, holy crap, if you can do this and give me that, I would always say to people, I don't care how long you work. If you can work an hour and produce the results that would take 40 hours, I'll pay you whatever it is. It doesn't matter. And that's what dream client's mindset is. Ryan said he offered his first course at $997. 5 dream clients signed up, and another will sign up.
That's Monica. Monica is
Monica.
yeah.
Right.
So and Monica, did you put in how much you were originally charging? I don't think you did. Put it into the chat because people will freak out where you went from. Because I remember you on the VIP calls, and we were challenging you to raise your price, and you were freaking out. And here you are now, a month or two later, whatever it is, $997, 5 dream clients signed up to a course that you haven't really built out yet.
Joey?
Pardon me?
Wasn't it $297?
I think it was even lower than that.
And then you said $997.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it. I think we were talking about somebody else. I don't want to take credit for it.
Okay.
But she came up with the number herself. She goes, you know what? The call today made me raise to $997. Oh, so it was $297. Okay, I'm wrong. So it was $297, and then originally she went to $997.
Right.
But I want to come back to something that Angel said here, which was the like and trust thing. This is the beauty of what we're talking about here, because you're right, Angel. Like, I totally agree with this. And when I'm going to reference Atlas here, because the way people came into my world is because of the trust in me first, which is what you just said. People trusted me. They did not trust the process. They didn't even know what the process was. And even through the first couple of modules, people would say, I don't know, like, is this really going to work? So they weren't really buying into the process yet. And I can tell you that everybody did. Like, everybody went through and they're like, holy crap, now I see the matrix. And that's what's going to be the biggest problem. So for me, I guess maybe there'll be a time, I don't know, I can't predict the future. Maybe there will be a time where somebody will say, I trust the process. But right now I can see that that's not part of what I do. And I'm not disagreeing with you at all, Angel, at all. I just want to bring another perspective for everybody watching this, because it's so important that you build the bond and trust with you first, so that the dream client allows you to break things, do things that are out of the ordinary, the contrarian, and they trust you more than they trust the process at the point, because they're trying to break free of their mindset. Does that make sense?
Yeah, total sense.
At least that's how I can see from what I'm doing with Atlas, and how people come in because they've been so brainwashed by the things that I'm saying, don't do that. And they're like, I don't see how this is going to work yet. And you saw it even in Dream Client Connection, Scott. Like, how does this all work? How do we put it all together? And like, don't worry, we'll kind of get there. But they were so, okay, I see that, but how's it all going to work, right? They're already pushing to the future, but they trusted us, right? They stayed for the 4 weeks, and then afterwards, like, oh my God, this is like groundbreaking, right? I
If
think that's a huge piece.
it is a huge piece, if people could have the magic pill, what would they pay for the magic pill? If somebody could say, okay, if I could pay a one-time thing to solve my problem and get everything I need, what would it be? How much would they pay? They'd find the money if it would give them everything that they wanted. And again,
True.
I'm not saying they'd pay $27 million for it.
Right.
They would pay what is a fair value. And Monica said, I trusted you from the beginning of,
Oh, down there. Okay.
oh, you were up top?
Yeah, I was going to go into that a little first, but let's finish this one.
Okay, I trusted you. This is from Monica. I trusted you from the beginning. Due to some answers in the other program, I hated their approach and jumped into Joey's world where I felt immediately at home.
Thank you.
What was the, yeah, that's just, that's what it's about, Joey, when people enter that, because you are different. Your approach is different. Everything
Well,
you
and
do is different.
thank you. And to speak to that, think about this for a second. If you're wondering, okay, how does this all work? So in Monica's case, and I'm just putting words in your mouth, Monica, I don't know, but I'm guessing that this would be true. That yes, you trusted me. You came into my world. You're like, okay, I like what Joey's all about. He's got this program. I'm going to invest in this program, but I don't know what his process is yet. And even though you looked at maybe one of the two processes, you thought, I don't know if that's really going to work for me yet, but I'm going to give him a chance. Correct? And that's the point I'm trying to make, is
Right.
that my whole thing is, how do I get people to trust me? Like, I want that reputation where I can say to people, don't worry, because I haven't got all this stuff laid out yet. Especially when I was building WMC and all these other things, when I didn't have it all built out. But even now, there's still that I'm not really sure this is going to work for me thing at the beginning of the program, but they give me the benefit of the doubt. And they also have the risk-free guarantee that they will get their money back.
Right.
So all of those components all combined, that trifecta or the Venn diagram thingy, however you want to look at it, all works in conjunction with each other. So everybody who's listening, can you do like the first offer as a premium? Yes, you can, if you are willing to invest and risk in your clients first. If you're willing to take the risk for your clients, you can charge premium prices. Do you agree, Scott?
Totally and completely. I'll repeat what you said. If you're willing to take the risk, then you get your dream clients. I give
Why
them
would they have to risk? Why should they have the risk?
if you
Right?
make it totally risk free and you reverse the risk, like, gosh, everybody way back when, risk reversal, if it's Jay Abrahams or whoever from way back when, everybody is, if you take the 500-pound gorilla off their shoulder and put it on yours, so they're like, there's no way that I can lose money here. Then I'd be a fool not to do it. No matter what, I win.
Right.
And that's what it has to be. And it's scary, Joey. Let's
No
it's
doubt.
scary to go out and put an offer out and collect whatever. Let's say 10 people gave you 2,500 bucks. I'm going
Yep.
low. 25 grand, and two people say, you know what, I want it back. You got the 25, the processing fees, you end up with 2,200. You pay your taxes, you end up with 1,500, and then this, and you profit first, and the discount and that, and you pay yourself, and then you pay your expenses, and someone's like, yeah, I want my money back, and now you got to come up with 5 grand. And you're like, holy crap!
Exactly right.
Scary. It is very scary.
No, there's no doubt I'm not going to deny that. It's the scariest thing to write that thing. I even put in the new offer now, a five times ROI on it as part of the promise.
That's huge.
Right? It is. And it's like, I know that this works, and I'm going to work with you as long as it takes for you to get 5 times your money back. Like, it's just, I want to put more and more into it to go, I've got your back. This is not a game. This is not a game.
You can say to somebody, I am so confident my stuff works that I'm willing to blank. And we've talked about results in advance, and we've just talked about I remember Brian Tracy talked once about in a selling program where somebody's like, well, we can't really get going till the next quarter. How about we get started now and we'll start doing it and you can pay the first payment in the next quarter.
Right.
And you and I have talked about when I first launched Fast Video Creator, and I had put together the offers that I thought were going to work. And I launched it and I did two, and then I did two more. And then I looked at feedback and that and was like, wait a second, I need to come up with another offer because people are asking this. And it wasn't the fake one. Well, we closed the cart and then people came back and said we didn't have this or that. No, it was real in that we had a couple of offers and people really wanted to give us a bunch of money. Some of them just didn't have the few thousand up front and asked, is there any way? And so we played with a couple of different programs that ended up giving us a lot more money, a monthly recurring revenue. And out of, let's see, I think 300 and change, we refunded two. And one of them was unhappy because we didn't deliver the doodle feature fast enough. And I was like, hey, you're not happy. I want you to have your money back. And I wish you luck in finding what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And another one came in and was like, video creation. He wasn't a dream client. He came in through a webinar and that. And he's like, this isn't for me. I was like, hey, if this isn't for you, here's your money back and best of luck in whatever you do. It just, plus, as we've talked about, Joey, the guarantee, the risk reversal, your conversions are so much higher than without it.
Well, look at, I think this is Monica because I can't see it here, but giving 100% money back guarantee took some internal mind shifting for me. It's amazing how it increased my confidence in my offer.
Yeah.
That's the point, is increasing the confidence not only in you, but I think you're talking about them confidence in your offer. Yes, that's what I meant. Is now your audience says, okay, she stands behind this. And everybody has to do that. To me, dude, it's part of what we do. If you don't have 100% money back guarantee, what are you doing in this business? There's very few things that don't really translate over to 100% guarantee. I get that. But in the scope of the whole thing, 98.5% should be 100% money back guarantee.
Yeah.
Right? There's just very few things.
Well, when we're talking about what in this framework and what everyone hears, like, for example, our digital assets, there's no money back guarantee unless there's something wrong with it.
Right.
But once you bought it and download it, you've already seen it, I can't take it back from them on a digital product that we know is quality. If there's something wrong with it,
sure,
then I'll definitely replace it. Or if we can't fix it, give you your money back. But on anything that's copy, that's coaching, that's whatever it is, you're not happy, then you got to have your money back because I don't want your money.
I love what Angel's saying here. Be unshakable. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And how do you recommend building the list of followers, lead gen funnels? This is another whole topic that we can go into a rabbit hole, which we won't, Ryan. I don't do funnels. My whole thing is drop the funnel. It's unfunnel it. I don't believe in them anymore. Never really worked them as well. Scott, I know you still do funnels.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it's what I do is like you build it one person at a time. And I know people don't want to hear that, but it doesn't mean that you're only building one person for like a year and then you wait another year. It's not like that. But I build things one person at a time. And what happens is it's kind of like that snowball at the top of the mountain. It starts off a very little snowball and it just catches steam. And when you tell one person you transform their lives, they tell somebody else, and those two people tell two other people, and it just goes and goes and goes. And that's how I've been able to build an organic marketing system. But it's definitely not the sexy thing.
Well, because I think the traditional answer to Ryan's question would be, oh, okay, well, you got to run Facebook ads, you got to do Google AdWords, and you got to do this and put things on Instagram and post stuff on YouTube and go here, and do this and, build an opt-in page with a beautiful thing that gives them an offer that they this, and then send them into the funnel rather than reverse engineering it and going, okay, here we go. Who's your dream client, Ryan? Where are they at right now and where do they need to get to? Where's the dream island that you need to take them to? And where are these people? And what do they need from you? And what are the languaging and the dialogue that they're experiencing in their minds on a daily basis that you can put out that starts to attract them? And
Yeah.
you need systems and processes that got to work for you.
And that's the key, is because, like you said, Scott, like there still can be kind of a funnel, Ryan. It's like, this is why I talk to people about, like, who are you helping and what's the thing that you're doing. And a lot of times I'll get all these things, this person, that person, this is what I do, and and that's going to be confusing, because what I'm saying to you is, let's pretend as a funnel system you changed your header on your Facebook page that said what you do the best. I help people do X. I'm not saying do that's what it says, but let's pretend for simplicity. So they come, they look at your page, on your header it says, I help people do this. Go here and grab my free report on this. Whatever. I'm just simplifying it, okay? That's basically your funnel. But
Yeah.
then you spend your time in helping people do that, so then they can look for you and go, oh, that cool. Oh, wait a second, I do want that free report. But if it was like, but it's specifically about something, and that's how you build it too. That could be a simple funnel for everybody,
Well,
but
Joey,
it's about the dream client, what you're doing, helping somebody do.
it goes to what we've talked about many times, is the simplification of how do you give them that ROI quick? You
Yes.
want to build a list of followers, give them an instant result that takes them less than 2 minutes to get a result of some kind that starts to change and go, holy cow, that guy Ryan gave me this free thing that actually worked. It wasn't a 27-page PDF that I'm never going to read. It wasn't a whole, it was like, look, I know you got this problem, and if you do this right now, you'll start to experience this or feel this or have this. And then you do it and go, holy cow, Ryan told me this one thing, and that if I did this, then this would happen, and I did it, and this would happen. Their mind's going to go, what's next from this guy? I got to make sure I read his emails. I got to find what's next. I got to find his program, because you've connected into the dream client's need, their problem, their pain, and given them something. That's the biggest challenge I see is, these funnel processes before I actually get some kind of ROI. And the first ROI is, you give me a little bit of your time and I'll give you something in exchange that will help you along the journey of where you want to get to. We call them funnels. It's really the journey. I call it architecting the funnel, but it's architecting the journey. And it's not the typical, I do those too. I run ads and this and that and that. If I can
We've
find,
done them all, Scott. Like, I
yeah,
get
we
it. Like,
have
to
to.
me, the ROI, this is the way that I look at it now. The ROI to me is the permission that I get to market, to communicate with that person in the future,
Right,
not the ROI of, okay, I gave you this. I'm going to give you a 5-day countdown
right.
series so you can go buy my stuff.
Yeah,
That's fine. There are people who come in and buy right away, very few of them, but there are, yes, but that's what everybody focuses on. My ROI is, wait, I got the right person that now is allowing me to talk to them, who is opening my emails, that eventually will give me $2,500 or $3,000 or
right,
whatever.
right.
That's what the ROI to me is.
Yeah.
But then again, we do different, right? Like, I'm the opposite of everybody else. And I'm like, okay, well, that's how you stand out. You do different. So, Ryan, the same thing is, go in, and instead of having a regular funnel, you can call it whatever you want, is you do something that's different in your marketplace, different that's everybody else, so that you stand out. That's the thing. Because, guys, like, everybody listening to this, I'm telling you that the world is colorblind to you right now. The world is looking at your funnel and thinking, here we go again. And why would you want that? Why? That's the reason why a lot of stuff doesn't work. Thank you, man.
No, well, that's Joe. Angel posted, your funnel is your emails, and it is.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I got to go down there. But yeah, it's the communication. Here's the thing. I talked about this in Dream Client Connection. I think we said this, Scott, where I said, just because somebody gives you their email does not give you the permission to sell them.
No, nope.
But people think that's the way it works.
Right. Well, that's the model that's been taught forever is get their email, put them into that sequence, deadline sequence, and sell them something. The cart's closing, and boom. Instead of doing what's different and giving them value and helping them and ascending them, putting them into a community and helping them in the community and helping them more and helping them more to solve their problem. And if they want to, somebody could hang out in the group and ask questions and change their business.
Dude, okay, so here's another point. Well, I'm glad you brought this up. We love you too, Angel. You're probably not here, but maybe you got to go, but we love you back. Here's the other point. I talked about this on Atlas today with the group, and we were talking about, because I always get the question of why do you have a one Facebook group? Like, why is it all there? How does it work? And there's clients in there, and there's non-clients in there, right? And there's a whole bunch of reasons of like the marketing point of view, because like, hey, people talking about the program piques the interest and blah, blah, blah. Beside all that, it was this: treat everybody like they're a customer, treat everybody like they're a client. So the people that are not clients, right? Thank you. My wife's bringing me an awesome coffee. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I know it's hot. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So as well as I do, because you're in there helping as much as I do, that the people in there that aren't clients, we don't treat them like crap. It's like, I'm not answering that question because you haven't bought anything from me.
Yeah, let me check the spreadsheet and see if they
it's like, what are you, crazy?
Yeah.
That's the mentality, guys. I'm talking to you. Like, be different. Do something different. Don't have I'm not saying don't have a specialized group for your clients or or whatever it is, but there's also an advantage to helping people and being cool about it and treating them like human beings, treating them like, well, just because you haven't given me money doesn't mean I'm not going to answer your question. Or, when you get on webinars or group coaching programs that you're paying $18 million to be there and you can only ask one question and that's it. And if you get that question answered, you're kind of lucky.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude,
yep.
It's like, my God, what look at your dream client or look at yourself. Everybody listening to this, look at yourself and think, what do you want? If you're a coach, whatever it is, what do you expect in your coach? Deliver that.
Yeah.
Deliver that. Daniel's here. We're gonna go through these amazing things. Thank you. Originally I was going to charge $297. That was Monica. We got that one. I trusted you from the beginning. We got that one. Trusted you right away. Thank you. Oh, she came back. All right. Angel's in the house. Woohoo. Okay. Wowzers. Way to go, Monica Murphy. Yeah, she's incredible. We're so proud of Monica. So proud of everybody here. Thank you for being a part of our tribe and our magical misfit tribe. You need systems and processes to work for you. You're definitely right. Joey is good at building systems and processes. I don't know. Everybody's, when you say that, I still like freak out because I'm not a systems and process guy. I've heard it a few times. Thank you for that. But I don't know. He's kind of hiding the fact at the moment. Oh, there you go. So yeah, I'm not trying. I don't know. Dude, like you tell me, am I? I don't know. You're a systems guy. Like, I don't see myself as that guy.
You are that guy.
All right, I'll take it. Thank you. Great talking. Keep the great conversations going. See you later, buddy. Joey, your funnel is your emails. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, there is a funnel to a degree. Like even when I bring people into my Facebook group, it's a funnel, but it's not like the normal thing. That's why I'm saying unfunnel it. Drop the funnel. Drop the normal thing that people are used to, because the last thing I want is here we go again. That I don't want that. I want to be different. The world is colorblind to you right now. Quote Joey.
Yeah, it's the funnel is the journey. It's mapping out the journey. Where it's kind of like if you were taking somebody out on a date and you wanted to just blow them away. You would start out by saying, okay, how am I going to pick him or her up? And where are we going to go? And what's going to happen when we get there? And what kind of cool surprises can I have? I remember my former wife, when I took her out to dinner one night in Palm Beach to whatever the restaurant was, I had arranged in advance that each course there was a different. I had bought her a ring that had diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies. It was 4 separate rings, and each course, one of those pieces of the ring was served with the course. And that thing was so orchestrated. And I did scavenger hunts, and that's what I'm talking about when I talk about a funnel. It's how am I going to architect the journey, and what is their experience the whole way through? You know how we like to onboard people, and just, yeah.
Dude, I didn't know that story about you anyway. Did you know, like, we are so universally connected, it's unreal. You know, did you know? Because I want to share my story with how I proposed to my wife. It was almost the exact same thing. First of all, it served in the course. But here's what I did. Let's talk about the funnel. Let's talk about the pre-fluence. Let's talk about all that stuff. Okay. So she knew from day one, like I said, you know what? I love marriage and I want to get married. And that she knew. And I go, when I propose, it's going to be a surprise. Okay. So 3 times before I actually did it, we went to a drive-in one time, and I go, hey, remember I told you about the marriage, right? She goes, yeah, yeah. I go, yeah, here. I toss her a box, right? She opens it up. There's nothing in it. I did it 3 times. I can't remember the other 2, whatever it was, but 3 times I go, by the way, today's the day. No, it really is. Boom, right? Give her the box. So I set her up. So then when we went to the restaurant, I had that all planned out. I had the waiters thingy to come with the blah, blah, blah. So they do that. They come over with the, because we have it filmed actually, that part. And they come with her plate. They come to give us the food, and they give my plate first. And she's like, she looks at me like weird, like, why would they give the dude the plate first, right? Because she was telling me this after, because that didn't seem right. And then they put down her plate, and it's a box with all the nice dressing around or whatever they do. She opens it. Guess what's in it? Nothing.
Okay.
Right? And she's like, oh my God, you got to stop doing this. And by the time she looked back up, I have the ring in my hand. I go, no, it's real this time. So it was like, it's funny you tell me that story, because it was like the same kind of proposal. Amazing.
And what if we were to look at our dream clients in that regard?
Right.
We were going to surprise them and propose marriage to them. And how would that journey be? And what kind of surprises would be along the way? And what kind of mystery and intrigue and curiosity could we spin? Then you spend your time playing with that, and people are going to be like, I want to be a part of this. This isn't the standard Facebook ad, click, opt in to get my free thingy, and then upsell me to the 27th thing with the add-on upsell, return path, profit maximizer thingy with the this and core offer and Slack. It's like, hey, let's really help you blow your life away. And like you always say, Joey, it's the people that are watching from the sidelines, watching
How
you.
many times have I proven that?
You prove it all the time, and it's what you do. Is when people watch what you do and how you do it, it speaks to
Thank you.
everything about you, and that's why people want to hang out with you. Like we've talked about, when it's time to do a live event, when kind of the world is somewhat to a point where we can do it safely. And it's like, well, what would you do to Daniel said he had the way to put her ring in her drink glass, and she almost drank it.
Yeah, I was playing with putting it in the meat.
Yeah, those are a little risky. Because,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember when he proposed to me and I chipped my tooth on the ring.
yeah. It took 3 days to pass the ring, but I got it.
But I got it. We have a video of the extraction of the. Anyway, I think we're going down the toilet here.
Literally. My God. Oh my God. What a way to end it. What a pun. We knew we were going down the toilet. Wow. Thank you for being here as well, everyone, for watching us and enjoying this conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And we went so many great areas of this conversation.
Yeah.
Scott, thank you for being here as always on Tuesdays.
Yeah, thank you, Joey, for having me. It's the highlight of my week when I get to do something that I love with dream friends. And I want to share something with you before we go. And I was talking about relationships, and actually Nick Barrow said this to me. He said, Golden relationships bring joy and bliss into our lives and make life worth living. Golden relationships. I
It's so
really
true.
love that. It was just so eloquently put, because that's another advantage of a dream client is you get to create these golden relationships in a way that, like our friendship, for us to have created this friendship, and Angel and other people, it would have taken so much time. Hey, we met, and we met at the club, and we're kind of like, hey, let's get together one of these days. And 4 months down the road, hey, let's go. Okay, we go out, and it's like, this was cool. Let's do it again in 3 months. And over the course of years, maybe we would develop a friendship.
Yeah.
But because of this interweb thingy digital space, it's just become, and that's the gift we get with dream clients
Yeah,
is,
and you're right. There's always this. I don't know, like the relationships that we have here with this amazing tribe right now, the tribe inside everywhere that who's not even watching us now, but are in the group and like all over the like you just said. I don't really know if I would have these relationships because of the normal process to build a relationship, right? And I
yeah,
think that there's always that silver lining to the dark cloud, or you can't, you're in quarantine or whatever it is, and that's when these are one of the dark clouds, like, or the benefits of what
yeah,
we've been able to accomplish. You're right, and I appreciate and grateful for everyone. It's amazing, and I
great.
love you too, Angel and Collie, like everybody here. It's just amazing, and this is why even when we talk about dream clients, are these the people that we would hang out with on a desert island? Yeah, yeah, I want to go hang out. This would be awesome. And that's what a dream client is all about: friendships, golden relationships, and everything. So
Yeah,
thank you for that.
you're welcome. Thank you.
I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you everybody for listening. Hashtag replay if you're watching this right now. Let us know how we did. We'd love to see you inside the Facebook group. Let me just give that one more little plug right here. If you want to join us in our amazing heart-centered marketing club, we would love to see you over there. Amazing people. All the people that are here are in there. I'm pretty sure they're all in there.
Yep.
Scott's in there, which is the main point. You got to come in there because Scott's there. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Thanks, Joey.